So I thought I'd get a little footage. I got a setup going right now. I got a PVC plumbing flush coming from my kitchen sink all the way down. Now this is kind of interesting because I usually do this one probably annually, but you know, I think I'm a lot better at it now. I don't really have to do it annually. I got a few maintenance tools that I use that kind of get me going all the way through. But what we're going to do now, we're going to show you the main line. It's kind of extensive, but we run the PVC line, right? Now what I do, this line right here might be 10 feet tall, 10 feet, 10, 12 feet tall, right? Take this line down. It runs all the way from the left side of the stairwell all the way over up underneath the flooring, and it connects to the kitchen sink. Now you probably see this. You know, it's not uncommon. You have build up inside of there. They got some pretty good plumbing flush Drano that you can use. I don't want to say that the one that they use at the Dollar Tree is all right. That's more mild, you know, for mild flushes. But like I said, this is not a problem. I'm really good at plumbing now. PV lines are a lot easier than like copper and the electrical lines. But what I usually do, I take this outside and I run it underneath the hose, and I just let all the sediment just flush all the way out, right, from the right to left. And then I just rim it. I just let it run for a little bit, and then that's usually enough. But I'm going to go down on this side, and I usually get a before and after. But kind of extensive. I do most of all my washing around here, so I kind of know all the pipes. We got a couple elbows, got one there, and then we got one or two hangers, about two hangers. Got that hanger and that hanger, two hangers. So I usually take my my sump pump, and I usually suck all that stuff out, and that's really good. I can get it really thorough. I got a 50-foot snake that I usually run in there if it's real clogged, or if I'm trying to just kind of beat some time. But the best way to do it is to just take the whole PVC down, knuckle it down with my monkey wrench, and then just run it from there to there. So we're running all the way together from here, all the way together. It might be 13, 14, 15 feet, 16 feet maybe. But I usually take it out, and then you got the main line where I usually can catch where it's at, but most of the time it usually seems like at elbows. It starts to clog right there, right? And I should have probably had my light on with this one. I'll turn my light on. So I'll go back again with that. See all that sludge and that buildup? So I usually go down in there, and I usually take my suck pump, and then I usually just grab it all. Once you bust out a big chunk of it, it usually just unravels itself all the way out of there. So that's generally how it is. But you see how you got all that stuff in there? That one's pretty much broke out, but I usually do all my elbows. I usually run all my PVCs running from underneath the pipes, and I drop and flush them. But these jobs can be kind of expensive, you know. But just want to get a little pre-footage on that before and after of a PVC plumbing fix from my sink all the way down to the main septic line. So I usually drop that, like I say, I don't want to say once a year, because I got a screen maintenance tip that I do that works out really good, because I usually, use just a regular screen or catcher, and it just catches all the particles. That usually works out, because like I said, I'm pretty much the main one to do all the washing around my house, because I know all the stuff that it takes when you have to break them down, and I know what's going in there and what's going out there, and it's more of an effort for me, because I'm really efficient and fast at this now. But I say no one can take care of your stuff better than you can. So almost done. I want to get a pre-footage, and then I'll run it all the way back through. I've been getting kind of a lot of videos on my overall maintenance of things I do around my house. Not only the motorcycles, the four-wheelers, my truck, so on and so forth. But it should be interesting to the man techie, the guy that likes to get around. But the things that I do, they're pretty good. Pretty good. Sign up. So we got our complete finished plumbing, sink all the way back down, flush. What I'm finding is this one right here gives a stubborn, goes down in the main septic line, and it really gets really thick down in there. So what I try to do is to be very efficient with my setups. Be very efficient, but be very exact and do the problem, whereas you get no leaks, real solid. PVC connectors, they usually real flush. They're really, for what I'm finding, they're really They're really solid. They're like the DI electricals with the copper, and what they call that, the copper and the electrical setups with the copper and those. But sometimes you'll get it to where, like, when it gets really hot, it's not really uncommon for them to leak a little bit. But it's always good to. I usually follow my pipes and make sure nothing's leaking. As we see there, everything is flush. But this was pretty good. I usually have to take this one all the way up, take all of them, bump all of them up. I drop all the ones from the top sink all the way down. I flush all those, and all these, I take all the elbows out, drop them down, run hot water on them, run my snakes, run my hangers, and I take off my hangers, and then I put on support so that actually the line hangs up. When I bought my house, I was gonna get a little more one. It's a little expensive, but it's not what you get, it's what you got, and it's how you maintain it. So that's the thing with that. But overall, I just want to get a little footage on this one. Like I say, the hang-ups on this, when you drop this elbow out, flush it down, drop it down, and then just run a hanger all the way down, and it bops in there, and then you do throw flush. It's going from the bottom end up. So I've had no problems this far. I've owned my house over 10 years. So, but just getting a little footage, signing out. So I thought I'd get a little footage. I got a pre-set up on a pipe. We got an elbow, and then we got a universal, whereas I'm going to be connecting that to there. What happened, basically, I had a situation where, this is kind of a follow-up video, kind of go through what I did. I flushed everything out, and it was still running slow, and I usually run all my lines. But this is probably the first time this happened to me, because I'm usually perfect at it. And sometimes, you make mistakes. Well, an elbow comes here. I flushed everything out there, and it basically had clogged up in this little piece right here that I got over there. Clogged up in there and up in there, big chunk of it. And I'm like, well, wait a minute. It usually runs through, right? If you unclog everything, it usually bops out of there. And it's just basically you get a lot of sludge in there. And the sludge, that stuff is really, really big when it pounds up. If you don't get it out of there, the water won't go down in there, basically. So we cleaned all this one out. I was working with it the other day, and I was dropping it out of there. And for the life of me, I was like, well, wait a minute. I always do it. I usually run my snake. There's a few different things that I do so that I don't actually bite the bottom out. But what I think I did is this knuckle right here. I let this one go, and then that one just drops right down out of there. And it just, once I got it broke loose out, it's kind of like a little catch latch up in there. It just dropped all the way down, and then the thread pattern on the bottom of it broke. So I said, wow. So once they break, you got to just basically go out, cut new PVC, cut new line, and re-cement them together. But pretty simple fix. Basically what we're doing is you got an overall length. Of course, this is our overall length right here, right? So we got an adapter piece. Our length that's good is around there, right? So you want enough that when that goes in, that sleeve, that might be a 1/2 inch or so. And then once it sits down in there, everything couples in. You're gonna use some what kind of cement is this? This is a Dante regular PVC cement. So this is really good right here. So we'll clean up the connections really good on both ends, especially on that end, and then we will apply it. So I just want to get a little free pre-footage beforehand, and then I'll be signing out. But yeah, this one right here, had to break the thread out of there. The thread will actually go in on this side over on that side. Put a little pipe thread on there. With this one, I might run, I think I'm gonna run some pipe thread on this one, because that's gonna lock up really good, but it's pretty solid. So just a pre-footage of overall plumbing PVC reconnection, signing out. Back in, we got all that down and cleaned this out. This one was kind of stubborn because I never seen a sediment inside a pipe where it was just like rock hard, and I usually run hot water in there, and I let the I had to do a bunch of applications. What's going on? And here's the cross pipe that we got going right here, right? So what's going on is these threads, I'm gonna clean these threads up really good, make sure they all connected. But we got some issues with this. So what we'll do, I'll take my brush and I try to run all that out, but it just bitted itself out real good. So we run all that out. I'm gonna get I get a tight connection on there, and we should be good. I run some pipe thread, and then we'll clean out. But I gotta clean this hole out, these threads out really good before I can reconnect. So just getting a bunch of pre-footage before we do our connection. We're gonna run from there to there, and we'll be done. Sign up. So we got another setup on this one. Another hard job. We had to do we did a flush all the way through the PVC running from the upper sink all the way to the main septic. Now this one's kind of something. What was going on? It was getting leaked. This one's actually had holes, right? This one right here, the PVC runs from down underneath the sink. It comes down to a line that's about 16, 17 feet, and then it connects. This same kind of hole connects with this one right here, running into the main septic line. This is kind of one. This line has probably been here as long as my house before my house was built. And I was saying that the other day, but we're gonna do is gonna replace this up like we did a bit the other day on the end joint. We got our connector butt, 1.5 inch piping, and then we're gonna go with a spacer right here. So everything's cut to fit. This fits right into there. We've got the thread patterns. I was able to break those out. I'm gonna clean those out with my my rotary tool. Go in there and make sure all that stuff is flushed away, and then we will reconnect it again. But as you see, got this line right here. I couldn't for the life of me figure out what it was because you remember we did the setup over there. I got all that down. So we got our repair piece, got our repair piece in. We got our unions, got our cement around there, got our pipe tape, and it's ready to go. So I just want to get a little footage before, after a replacement PVC union piece. Total pipe, sign out. So all finished front to back. Got a pipe thread in there, got a new union, got a new section. We cut from here to here. Like I said, it's not uncommon for these things to dry rot, but they're really durable. PVC, I like working with it. It might be a lot better than those dielectrical connections. The copper is pretty good, but it's a unit, it fits a certain way. So simple as that. I cut it out and put the connection pieces in, and I rethread it and put the PVC cement in there. So working really good. I'll knuckle this one down, go up, and sign it out. But we'll be all great now. Sign out. So we got the new connection on. Pretty solid fit. I had to actually turn it around. I like these. I think I'm gonna be changing a lot of my pipes down in my basement. They just randomly get holes, and you'll notice like over a period of time they'll have like a bunch of carbon like deposits on the bottom like this. That's all it is. They just get old. That water is really dangerous. Water, when it sits, the sediment, it's like the same thing on the bottom of the water heater. When it sits, it just tends to want to have like acidy stuff in it, and it's just not good. So yeah, with this one was a pretty easy fit. I had to take this out, and I had to clean out the thread on there. But I took my rotary tool, and a real solid fit. We got thread tape on there, and then I got PVC cement on there for our connector. So pretty good, but I use one of those to actually get all that thread pattern out of there, and it's just really good sound set. So what I'll do now, I'll take a picture of this, but I'll connect that in. I got all the fittings for that. I cut it down to size, and we'll be set. So just a little footage of the new PVC going to the septic tank through the back, the front line coming from the sink. Signing out. So we got a complete setup on our elbow. I kind of just go over all my pieces to make sure nothing's leaking. I got all the pressure in. I might run some more crack sealer in there just to make sure none of my pipes are busted, or kind of standard for me. Be doing some more reconstruction on my house, some modeling, but for now, just making sure